We're recording. Yay. Okay. So we're talking about samples tonight. Kind of what you do and what works and what kind of things you want to try but maybe haven't. So Rochelle's our sample diva. She's like the sample queen of everything. She loves samples. She was talking all about it today to me.
Yes, I have been making lots of samples. So I just wanted to show y'all the samples that I have actually made. And I'm actually using this little, now that it's recording, this little thing that we got at World Tour that's like specifically geared for samples. If I lean it too much, they're going to fall out. But it's these 2 little boxes. And so literally what I have to show y'all tonight is 3 different samples. So the wax samples, there you go, Lindsay. See, she has the thing in the back that says sample bar. I don't have that in mine.
I just put it in there right now. Super easy.
But it's really cool for like events. And then I also have it set up on my desk in my office. So like if a customer comes by, all my stuff is like right there. And I also keep this by where I pack my orders so that I always put a sample in with orders. And on Maven, I'm talking about Maven now, you can record samples. So then it's making me put a sample in everybody's order. So that way I know exactly when they delivered it because I give them a sample the day they get their product. Anyways, that's a whole other subject. But so I
think it's a subject that we could talk about a little bit though, because I haven't ever done samples in my Maven.
Okay, so
when you do it.
Then I'll talk a little bit about it, but I don't, because Maven is a whole other subject. But so what I just learned, because I have a binder that I literally put when I get an order and when I deliver the order, I literally write on the order form, delivered, the date, and then I have a little calendar and I go and put my sheets behind 2 weeks after they get the product. Mm-hmm. Well, in Maven, it goes on based when you place the order. So like if you have an online customer place an order on a certain day, their dates are driven by the order dates. So I was really like having a hard time with that because I like to go based on the day they get their product. Well, by recording a sample,
that's smart.
Yeah, by recording a sample with everyone's order, you now can put in there basically their delivery date because the day that they get their product is the day they're going to get their sample. So that's why I've been really big on giving samples now, because if you go to that contact in Maven.
I'm doing it right now.
See? And there's a plus sign in that contact. Like if you go to that contact and hit edit, or you'll see a plus sign bottom right-hand side. You can record an order or you can record a sample. You can record every sample that I have here. You can record that I'm going to show y'all. And then it gives you a date and you put the date, you give them the sample. So voila, for me, that was huge because now I have a delivery date and I'm tracking my samples because I give samples, but I have not been tracking them. Now I'm tracking them. So I'm really excited about that. So
that's awesome. Hey, I just did the first sample entry on my Maven with one of my loyal customers right there.
There you go. And it's going to send you. So I tested it out with Scott, my husband.
Okay.
And it gave me a to-do today to check in on the sample. And it does it for you just like an order. When it said, it's been
the message.
Yeah. So you can change that message too, to whatever you want it to for a sample. You can go in there and customize the template. But the message that it sent Scott was like, because in my phone, he's called husband, Scott Zenzen, because, I don't know he's my husband. So it's like, it said like, hi, husband, how do you like your sample of black raspberry vanilla Scentsy Fresh? And please let me know. Yeah. And I was like, this is genius. So now I have a way to track my samples. So now I know that I'm not just giving away samples and I'm not checking in with people. So I was really excited about it. But you can go in there and yes.
Kind of awesome because like if you give a sample to a random stranger, you could use that.
You can record it.
Piece of like,
yes.
Can I get your information? Because I just want to follow up with you after to see how you like this.
That's right.
I've also heard of someone doing like a postcard or post-it on the sample, and then they write. I don't know where I heard that.
It's just like a catalog. You have them fill out their name, and then you can say I do a monthly drawing.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they're more apt to give you their information, and it could be for a scent circle, like
Yep.
$3. Yeah.
Okay.
So on samples, like I said, I've got 3 different kinds here. But there's also now the felt samples, and I am waiting on mine. Oh, you know what? Here's a felt. Here's one. We had a little sample making thing at our house. This is a felt sample that's got the same scent in it, and you can actually put this in. You can put it in a little Ziploc bag and put the little sticker on it that you get with your scent of the months. This is kind of bigger. I think we measured these out. The ones that Scentsy are putting in that bag, I think, are like a 1.5 by 1 1/4. And this was a little bit bigger than that. But this is kind of a felt sample. So if you're mailing out samples, this is the way to go, because it's thin, less weight than an actual mold of wax. And then, so I have been using these little cards. And then you can add your name and stuff on them, but it's basically, it's whatever the scent is.
And then half and then staple.
So what I've been doing is taking it, folding it in half. Now, I used to fold it in half on the top and staple it. Well, then I was like, they can't even open the bag. If I'm stapling the top of it, they're having to rip off the paper. So I started folding it on the side so they can actually open the bag and smell it. And I have to smell it, like I said, because I haven't smelled it before.
That's like,
and so that's right. Why is that? Like, we have problems.
You want to know what they're smelling.
Because it's going to smell the same. No.
Yep.
Everyone's smell is different. But so that's one way to do it. Well, then as I was sitting here, because I do customer mail outs every month. I just started in January. And this takes forever to sit here and staple this, put it in the bag. I mean, put the sample in the bag, then staple it. So then I started like, okay, what if I got a bigger bag and I just stuck the whole card in the bag?
Yep.
With the writing on one side, right? And then you put your sample on the other side.
Perfect.
That's much easier. Then you don't have to use a stapler. And it's the same thing. They're going to get this. Then they're not going to have to pull it off the bag or anything. So that was just thought of at the last sample making meeting. So this is just easier, but you got to have the bigger bags to do that. These are the little bitty bags, and I get these from Hobby Lobby. Scentsy has bags as well, but Hobby Lobby sells these really, I don't know how many come in a bag, but it's a pretty thick bag of them. Yeah. So those are the 2 ways and to do the little wax. There's lots of other ways. This is just the way I do it. Okay. Then my washer whiffs, same thing, same concept. Get 1 scoop. That's all this is 1 scoop out of a washer tub or a little container. And then it's the cards. And then it says on the back, like the ingredients, the caution, all the directions and all that kind of stuff. But this is I staple it because these washer whiffs, they'll mess up the print on this card because of the oils in them. Whereas the wax, you can actually put it on one side. So if there's an easier way, this is just the way I do it when I give out these washer whiff samples. Then the Scentsy Fresh samples, this container is, I got these on Amazon. So I will have to go and find, I can go look in my order history and find where I got these. There's actually 2 different sizes. This is the bigger one. And so you just I've been using that little dropper where you squeeze it out and then drop it in. Actually, with the Scentsy Fresh, you just put the nozzle up to the edge of this and you just spray 3 times and you don't have to use a little pincher.
Yeah.
After making tons of these, I just realized that the other night too. I was like, I can just spray it in there. And then that's right. And then you can kind of play around with these cards. These are the same cards as all the other ones, but I just took a stapler and stapled it far enough out so that I could just slip this around the bottle.
That's perfect.
And then these are all these little cards are on that page. And they're all the sample making pages where I got these from. And they have like all the compliant stuff on there. They have directions, the warning, the ingredients, like everything that needs to be on these per product is already on here. So instead of reinventing the wheel, these are already made.
That's good.
So that's my samples. There you go.
Love it. Jess or Amanda, do you want to share what you do for your samples? If it's anything different, or if you don't, that's okay.
Mine are about the same.
Do you do it monthly where you do the scent of the month every month?
I was, and then I stopped doing that to everybody. And I kind of follow Bonnie, and she does it for anyone that places an order. They get a sample every, like, for the next 3 months.
Oh yeah.
And I try to do it that way instead.
That's good.
But I record mine in Maven.
You do?
Yes.
Good. Have you had good results from doing that?
Since the summer, even, because I got like a reminder to follow up, I followed up with someone. They were like, I never got it.
That's awesome.
So able to say, okay, let me resend it.
Yeah. Just keeps that communication open up with your customers, which is great.
I love Maven.
So
that
nice.
whole binder system never worked for me.
Yeah, I was not very good at it either.
See, I'm OCD about my binder system, so I'm having a really hard time. Like, I still have it in there. Y'all would laugh at me if you saw it.
I think you're a pen and paper type of person, Rochelle, right? Is that right?
It depends on what day it is. Okay.
Okay.
But I'm doing really good with Maven right now. I really am, because the recording the samples is why I'm going to turn to Maven, because I didn't have any kind of
sample
system for my system. Yeah, for my binder. It was just people got samples and then I never checked on them. I never remembered what samples I gave when I gave customers samples, because I always gave them something. And so now I have a reason. Like, actually, the couple of customers that I texted to check on their orders, they're like, I didn't even know you gave me a sample. And then they're like, oh, I just found it. And then they used it and they loved it. I'm like, how do you not see this in with bars? I'm like, how do you overlook this?
Maybe
this looks
look in their bag yet. I mean, I don't know. It's weird.
But yeah, so Maven for samples is the only way to go.
That's good.
So I'm doing good.
Amanda, do you have anything you want to share with your samples?
I love the felt samples.
Okay, you're a felt sample junkie. I love it. So tell us how you use them, because I've never done the felt samples, and I ordered a bunch of the felts from Scentsy, so I'm curious of how do you use it? How do you make them, and how do you package them, and all of that?
Keep talking. I just remembered something.
Well, usually it's me and Shell. I go to Shell to make them. She'll melt all the wax down, and we'll just dip it in and lay it out on some wax paper.
Okay.
Till it hardens, and then we put them in the little bags and then staple the cards like Rochelle did.
Okay, so the same little plastic bags. So when you're using them as a customer, what do you tell your customers? You can use it like that. Like, what do you tell them?
Well, usually I just say it's for them to smell, and they usually decide to put it in their car or something so their car smells good.
So have you tried putting it like in a warmer to warm it? And I mean, is that a thing? I have no idea.
I'm not sure. I haven't told my customers to do that because I wasn't sure. So I don't know.
Okay. Yeah,
You can put it in a warmer.
You can.
But it's not going to give the same effect as a cube of wax, right? So it's
probably like, I mean, not even a chunk.
Well, so there's different types of felt. The stiff felt that I was telling you about, this is stiff felt right here. This seems to absorb more than, like, this is regular felt, but this is almost impossible to cut on a Cricut machine.
Okay.
I don't know what the samples from Scentsy, I don't know what those felt samples are going to be. I'm assuming they're going to be this stiff stuff.
Yeah.
But you don't have to dip the whole entire thing in wax. And what I would suggest, the Scentsy felt samples are white. I think if you're going to do felt samples, I would stick with white. This is purple. A lot of people buy their wax based on color. Yeah. And if you have a colored piece of felt, they don't know what, like this is the Make Waves. This is blue wax, but you can't even see that because it's purple. There's hers. You already have the Scentsy ones.
Yes.
Are those hard? Like, are they Are they stiff to bend, or are they super soft like this?
They're really stiff and hard.
That's what I thought. That's what I figured. Because in order to cut those, it's got to be stiff.
So are they thick, like stiff but thick? Like Rochelle's are super thin.
No, they're
That's thin.
Yeah. Maybe it's a
It's
little
thin.
thicker than the ones you have, but
It looks.
Daisy?
uh-oh.
Oh, oh, you.
we lost Rochelle. She stopped her video. Is that your little one? That's fun. Okay, that's cool. I'm excited to get them to try it because I've never tried felt samples. It's kind of the new thing, I feel like, that is kind of taking over the sample world. So I think it'll be fun.
I think because we had such high temperatures last year too.
Oh, yeah?
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, even Boston got hot.
Yeah. With Bellingham.
Okay, sorry. My son just FaceTimed me. Sorry. I was like, sorry, I'm on a conference call and he's in college. He's like, Mom, this is important. I'm like, I'll call you back.
Peace out, bro.
Yeah, you're not my top priority. Hello. Sorry, I didn't mean to. All of a sudden it said FaceTime. I'm like, oops.
You're fine.
But no, it looks like the Scentsies might be a little bit thicker, but they're not as big. Like this is really big. And I think Scentsies, we measured it. Scentsies are like 1.5 by 1.25. But people have said that you can put them in a warmer. It just is not going to give the same throw. So you can tell your customers, like, you'll get the gist of what it smells like warming, but the actual cube is going to give you more of a throw because this doesn't have that much wax on it.
Yeah.
But you can also, if you're not trying to use a lot of wax, you can literally take it and then they'll really see the color of the wax. You could take your bar and dip it to like where the curve is, and then they'd be able to see the color of the wax
So
since it's white felt.
Do you use tweezers to like get them out, or what are you using?
You can use tweezers or your fingers. Like you can literally just take it and just dip it.
Okay.
And then lay it on the wax paper.
Okay.
It's kind of like this is different. These are these little rose petals. You've seen the leaves. So
Yeah.
what I did with these rose petals, Shelly gave me a bag of these, and literally I put them last month with February's poppy fields. I just threw a whole bunch of them in this little melting pot, and then I just took tweezers and just individually grabbed them out of the pot and laid them on the wax paper. And I literally threw like 1 or 2 of them in the customer mail. I didn't put them in a Ziploc baggie. I just threw them in the envelope.
Mm-hmm.
My entire mailbox, one of the cards came back because it was the wrong address. And you could totally smell this through the envelope.
That's awesome.
Because it wasn't in a Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
And it smelled so good.
That's
I was like, okay, that's kind of genius. Like,
Okay,
I'm thinking,
so
but
on
it
that,
wasn't hot outside.
you need to put your website on it so that the mail.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, because
That's right. It's on my return address labels, of course.
Yes.
But I'm thinking in the warmer summer, like the warmer summers, as it gets warmer here in Texas, you're going to have to put it in a Ziploc bag because it's going to melt.
Mm.
And then they're not going to be able to use it. It's going to be, I mean, they'll probably smell it when they get their envelope, but you don't want it to melt. Like as it gets warmer, we're probably going to have to put these in a little bag.
Yeah.
But actually, speaking of samples, these little rose petals, I gave a handful of these dipped in poppy fields to my friend, and she put them in a red Solo cup and put them in her car.
Oh.
And her car smells amazing.
That's awesome.
Like it still smells good.
Lots of different uses for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about your melter pot you mentioned. I've always done a Pyrex in the microwave.
So have I,
I
which is a
know.
big no-no.
I know.
We're going to jail.
I use my alabaster warmer
Okay.
because it has that little piece that like pits out
Yeah.
so you can pour.
That's
But
true.
I also have a friend that makes a lot of my samples,
That's nice.
and he shaves down and cuts really small wax
Oh.
and then puts it in the rock warmer and dumps it that way. But he wants to make sure I get the most scent.
Yeah.
So he cuts it small so when it melts quickly and done.
Yeah. That's good. So it's not losing a lot of scent. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird. This has like a bunch of like weird stuff on it. But this is my, I don't know what that is. Can y'all see that? Weird. It's wax because it smells good.
Smell it.
So, this is called, what is it? Wilton. I got it from Michael's with a 40% off coupon. So, Wilton, and you can get it at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. But I'm going to say this. So, almost 11 years. March 6th will be 11 years since I've been doing Scentsy. I can say almost 10 years and probably 10 months, I have used a Pyrex cup in the microwave. And I thought all these people that had these things were ridiculous, waste of money, kind of stupid, like just use your microwave. Well, then we had a sample making meeting here, and Shelly came over. Was it no, Stacy, another girl on our team, came over, and she brought this little thing, and I was like, oh, here we go again. We're going to use this melting pot. What was I missing? This is the easiest thing in the world. I was like, are you kidding me? It's this easy. It even has these, look, Lindsay,
The pour.
see these little,
Yeah.
duh. So like when you're pouring it in the little molds.
The reporting tab in your workstation consists of
Oh,
3
sorry.
Oh, I'm like, whoa, someone's got professional voice.
I was in my workstation. I was going to the reporting tab, and it has
But no,
that-
so like,
starts talking. Sorry.
so the Pyrex cup, whenever you try to pour it into the mold, you never know like where to put it on the hole to where it actually goes in and it doesn't pour on the actual silicone part. This is perfect. Like wherever you hold it is right where the wax pours.
That's awesome.
So literally I was sitting there that meeting. I'm like, I'm going to get one. I'm getting one tomorrow. And I literally went the next day and got me this. And I will say, if you're dipping felt, so the one at Michael's comes with the one big hole, the container, and then it also comes with this divided container. So like for pouring wax, of course you can't sit here and pour, but if you're dipping felt or like dipping rose petals, this is perfect because you could actually do 2 different scents melted. Genius. But not all of them. Like if you look at Walmart, it only comes with 1.
Okay.
But if like Michael's had the 2 of them.
That's
And
good.
I want to say it was like $30, maybe $25, and then it was 40% off because I had a coupon.
Awesome. That's good.
So yeah, it's totally, yeah. I can't believe it took me this long to get one and use it. Much easier.
That's awesome. Okay, so I have a little challenge for you before we go because it's 8:30 and I have to go from sports and church. So I have a little challenge for you around samples. So every week you should be handing out samples. How many, do any of you have like a goal of how many you hand out a week? You don't keep track or no? So ideally you would be doing 50 in a month. 50 in a month, right? And if you're really ambitious, you could do 100 in a month. That would be 20 each week. Rochelle does that easy. That's 20 a week. That's how many a day?
All right, Rochelle.
Like 4-ish a day. So that's if you're taking Saturday and Sunday off. So that's what I want to challenge you to do. I want you to figure out, okay, do I want to do 50 or do I want to do 100? If you're feeling overwhelmed with it, start with 50. So then you have 10-ish a week that you're going to be handing out. And then if you're feeling ambitious and you have a lot of samples that you're like, I need to move these, then set your goal to 100. Do it for a month. Take the month and do it and see how it makes a difference in your business, because I know that it will for sure make a difference in people ordering and just getting new scents into new people's hands.
And just make sure you get their information on Maven so you can track all the samples you're giving out.
Yes, for sure.
Awesome.
Right. This was fun. Thanks for jumping on, Amanda and Jessica. Since you're only 2 people that jumped on, we're going to mail you a little freebie in the mail. So watch
Woohoo!
for that. Way to represent. We each have one from our group here, so that's awesome. Yay. You guys are rock stars. All right. Have a great night. Thanks for joining us.
You too.